Hi, I'm making this video today to help any new bird owners or prospective bird owners know what to expect when you purchase an unweaned cockatiel and to help guide you through the weaning process. I am in no way an expert. In fact, I only just have one bird, but I successfully weaned her. So this is all of my knowledge from my own experiences. So assuming you've done all of your research on cockatiels, you probably have a nice big cage with lots of natural wood perches and toys, and you're probably very excited to teach your cockatiel to sing a song, to give it a bath, to make chop, everything like that. That's wonderful. You're not going to get to do any of those things until your bird is weaned, because right now you don't have a bird, you have a baby. Something you can expect a lot of from a baby bird is crying. It sounds like this. You should take your baby cockatiel to the vet within the first week that you get it to know where to start. And if you encounter any difficult issues, questions along the way, contact your avian vet. Hand feeding a baby bird is very difficult and requires a lot of skill and patience. And if done incorrectly, your bird can develop aspiration pneumonia, which is when the baby bird inhales the formula into its lungs. Raising a baby bird also requires a lot of time and attention, and this is non-negotiable. If you don't have the availability or patience to take care of a baby bird, you should return it back to your breeder and request that they hold on to the bird until it is weaned. A bird is weaned when it has been eating on its own for 2 weeks. If you find yourself in a situation where the breeder won't take back the bird and you are willing to raise it yourself, these are some tips that will help you. So you'll want to buy a large container of formula from the pet store. I used this Katie Exact brand. You need a large container because your bird will most likely encounter weaning regression, which is when your bird takes a step back in the weaning process because it was rehomed in the middle of it. You also need a syringe like this one. I recommend a rubber tube. And you also need a scale like this one. You should weigh your bird every day until it's weaned to ensure that it's still growing. You'll most likely need to start your bird with 3 feedings per day, and in each feeding your bird should get 10% of its body weight. Your bird may be resistant to the hand feedings at first, but do not mistake this for your bird rejecting the feedings and being ready to be weaned. Your bird is most likely rejecting it because they are scared and they don't know you or trust you yet. It'll take time for your bird to adapt to you hand feeding it. Once it's ready, the hand feedings will look like this. Solid food should be introduced to your bird immediately. A cockatiel's diet is made up of pellets and vegetables with seeds sometimes as a treat. Seeds should only be used occasionally because they're very fatty and can cause liver disease. Start your bird on the same solid food that it was offered by the breeder and slowly transition it into the food you want to feed it over the course of 2 weeks. You need to keep a bowl of your bird's solid food like pellets and a bowl of water in the cage accessible at all times, and offer the vegetables and other new foods to your bird outside of the cage on a plate. This is a plate of kale and carrots that I gave my bird for her lunch. She's already eaten some, that's why it's messy looking. I always serve my bird food on a serving tray like this, so there's nothing else that she can be distracted by and run away to while eating. If your bird runs away while you're trying to feed it, just continue to pick it up and put it back on the plate over and over and over again until the bird learns that it's supposed to be eating. To introduce your bird to a new food, you should play around with it with your fingers. You can even hold it up to your mouth and make yummy sounds to get your bird more interested. Cockatiels are flock animals, so they will copy what you do. Some really good foods to introduce to your bird while it's weaning is anything that is easy for it to eat, like chopped kale, chopped carrots, peas, corn, cooked oatmeal, cooked sweet potato, broccoli, cauliflower, and more, as long as it's small enough for your bird to eat it. You may hear elsewhere that you should continue to hand feed your bird until it starts rejecting the feedings. Your bird will never reject the feedings. To your cockatiel, that syringe is like its mother. It provides food, and your bird will always cry for it when it sees it. That's why it's really important to keep the syringe completely out of sight of your bird and do not let your bird know that you are preparing its food. It's also important to spend time with your bird aside from the feedings so that your bird doesn't associate you with food and immediately start crying for food when it sees you. You'll know to start weaning when your bird looks a little fat and is eating all of the foods that you offer it without any difficulty. The healthy weight range for cockatiels is about 80 to 120 grams, depending on your bird's size. My bird is weaned now and she's at 90 grams. The most important thing when raising your unweaned cockatiel is patience. It requires a lot of effort. You might cry a little bit. You might have to wear some earplugs around your house for a little bit. But it will all be worth it because in the end, you and your bird will be more closely bonded because of this experience. And once your bird is fully weaned, you can start to enjoy all of the fun things a cockatiel has to offer.